My journey as a rogue in Season 5 of Diablo 4. So I typically only play one character class per season. I did a druid in Season 4, and I switched between about four really different builds with the druid in Season 4. And in Season 5, I said, I'm going to play a rogue for the first time. I played a barbarian in like Season 1, and I played a necromancer in half of Season 2, and then I totally forgot about the game. And then came back to it in Season 4 to play the druid. But anyway, we're talking about Season 5. And so I just have some gameplay here. This is a Tier 7 horde. My character could do pretty well with this, and I recorded this about a week ago, and I learned the mechanics even better for this particular build. But let me summarize what I want to say about Season 5 and being a rogue. So, yes, I did do 4 different builds. And so, how I play the game is, I don't have time. I don't have the, time to play it 12 hours as soon as the season opens, like some of the pros. And some of the other people that play it. I could play about 2 or 3 hours. I have a full-time job. And so I spent a solid, 3 straight nights in World Tier 2. Just, figuring out how the rogue plays. It's a little bit more complicated than some of the other characters. You have to hit a lot more buttons. But, yeah, so 3 days World Tier 2, and then 3 days World Tier 3. And I said, told myself I'm not going to rush. I can afford to spend those days in those world tiers, leveling up properly, slowly but surely. No rush, because I knew, what did we have in this season? Like a full, 70 days to play. And so spending 6 days in the lower world tiers was not a big deal to me. And so what I did was I leveled up with a barrage build at first, because I got invited to fight like an uber boss kind of early from an online player. And I ended up getting like some GA. I got a GA Sky Hunter, and a couple other decent pieces of equipment from an Uber boss. And so I started out and made sure I leveled my character up to 100 using Barrage, because I just liked how I like the attack of the Barrage, and it just made the play style a little bit easier for me. Being that I was just kind of trying to learn the rogue and trying to just get up to level 100. I think it took me. So I entered World Tier 4 on like the 7th day as, I think I was level 70, so I was like a little bit over leveled. People like to do the capstone in the 50s or 60s. But I was in no rush, and I had pretty decent equipment. I played in World Tier 3 long enough to where I was decked out in Ancestrals, no Sacreds, and, just ready to go. And of course the capstone dungeons were no problems. I didn't even need to have to call anybody into my game to help me out. And so as I reached level 100 and started getting some GA ancestrals and a little bit more, few more uniques, obviously no mythics yet, I looked online like I usually do. I don't have time to craft my own characters. There are people out there that play 10 times as much as me, and they've done all the theory, right? So I see online that this young guy on YouTube, Nick2 is his name, TEW. He had a rapid fire. It was early on in the season. He made a rapid fire build. I'm like, that sounds interesting. I haven't used rapid fire yet. I was using barrage. And so, the nice thing about Season 5 is they had that scroll where you could just wipe your skill tree, wipe your paragons, and start fresh without paying a lot of gold. And I built a rapid fire, and it did really well. Like, I was able to solo tormented bosses with it. But I wasn't doing as much damage as I kind of hoped for, and also the rapid fire build, it's a little frustrating. You could be shooting right at an enemy that's in front of you, and it'll shoot over them and shoot the enemies behind them. And so the rapid fire was kind of strange to use, but I did stick with it. I stuck with it for about a week and said, okay, I need to see what other builds are being released slowly but surely by the top YouTube guys. And then of course Paragaming. Most people know Paragaming. Hilarious videos, hilarious AI voice, but also really good advice. I think he released a penetrating shot build, but also Sladra did as well, another YouTuber. And so I said, I need to get out of this rapid fire. People are, lauding this pen shot build, this, Andariel's helmet penetrating shot build. Like, it sounds really good. Like, I bought into it. So out goes the rapid fire build. Not going to use the Scoundrel's Kiss ring anymore. So I just kind of sidelined that. And then, I had I was doing enough Ubers, tormented bosses, that I had, a single mythic of each type. So I decked myself out with the Fist of Fate, the Andariel's helmet, do all the right master working, and the pen shot build I couldn't get to work really well. And I don't know why. I have a theory. I hardly ever saw the Andariel Nova's form. And so the Andariel helmet says 20% chance for the Andariel Novas to occur. And I literally, even though I had a Fist of Fate that was really good, and I had a lucky hit chance in the, 130 percentile, I literally only saw that Nova on the Andariel's hit for about 1 in every 5 times. So I think I don't know if that helmet didn't seem to be correlated to my lucky hit that was on my gear and the lucky hit that was on my Fist of Fates. And I was doing a crummy amount of damage, and I could not duplicate what these YouTubers claimed that the penetrating shot Andariel build did. So I suffered with that build for about a week. It was really not fun to play. I was unmotivated to kind of really learn the mechanics because it just didn't seem to work very well. And I had to kind of choose at that point, should I do the barrage poison build or some other build that was out there? And then I saw the Heartseeker build, And that's what I've been showing here in this tier 7 the whole time. The Heartseeker build is much simpler, does not require the Andariel's helmet with that Nova that hits only 1 in 5 times, as far as I can tell, no matter how high your lucky hit is. And it also uses a ultimate skill, the arrows, which you could see in this gameplay that I'm using very well. So, I did watch this video of this tier 7 that I'm showing, and you can't see every piece of damage because it's just a big mess. But I was routinely doing 50 million damage, and a few times I noticed I was doing between 100 and 300 million damage, which is good for me. I don't know how these YouTubers are doing 1 billion damage or more, or even more than 300 million, which is the highest I saw in this video. I had to pause it a few times just to see what I was doing. But that ended up being excellent. You're going to see that when I get to the bosses in this tier 7, that they're absolutely no problem. And you can see the ether that I've gained, here at wave 9. I think it says 500. That's pretty good. I think I got about over 600 in this one. That's nothing. That's not too bad. Like, that's basically all you needed to do in this. Like, tier 8, I did with other people. I got online and did it with other people. I survived fine. I got lots of ether, but this was nice to be able to solo tier 7s because I could get all the farming materials. I can just kind of do my own thing. So yeah, I'm having to talk through this entire video. We're 12 minutes through, and it's 15 minutes total, so 3 more minutes. So what I will say, and I might not even need to talk through this whole thing, is this Heartseeker build ended up just being fun, for one. I mean, well, why do we all play these games, right? They're fun. And then 2, it was finally doing the damage. I'm not going to say that I got this Heartseeker build to S tier. Heck no. I'm calling this a solid A tier build. But you know what? If you build a solid A tier build with survivability, because I had survivability with the barrier miscellaneous skill for the rogue. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's on my amulet. And what I have coming up after I defeat these horde bosses, so you see how really fast that went? I already defeated one of the horde bosses. I know it's tier 7 and not tier 8, but like this build really freed me up to play the game, I think, how somebody like me, a non-professional, could play it. It was really strong. So like, just watch this boss's health. Look at, that's really good. Like, do you see that? That's amazing. And so what I have coming up now is another video that shows the gear I was wearing, and how lucky I was with some of the GA gear that I got. So I'll just stay on here and describe it. So I got lucky. I got a 3 GA Harlequin crest. It was a drop. I didn't have to make that. I got a Tyro's Might. There was a 2 GA. Did not have to make that. It was a drop. Pain Gorger's Gauntlet that I bought off somebody on Diablo.trade. That was an amazing. I got it for $1 billion. And then I'll let the rest of this. You could pause it and see exactly what I had. But this Heartseeker build was so much fun. I had so much fun with this, and I got to experience almost the entire rogue thing. I didn't get to do the blades. The blade attack or whatever, I didn't get to do that one, but I got to make like 3 or 4 good builds. Got to fully experience the rogue. Another GA Starless Skies, another drop, did not make that as well. And then all the other standard stuff, max life, dexterity, and then here's my amulet. Frigid Finesse was the key to this, and then Second Wind was for the barrier. It made me almost unkillable. So there is the rogue build.